Hello everyone and welcome to another stream on Project Cars. This week it's again time for the AOR BMW 320 Touring Car League. It's the first season of this one is around 4 out of 6, a small first season as you know, and we are at the halfway point and going into a very interesting race at Willow Springs International. Not too well-known track, I think. Definitely not seen it anywhere else than in Project Cars. So I've never spectated a race around here. I've never raced around here myself either. So it should be very interesting. So we're going to jump out to the track and introduce my co-commentator, which, like last week, is the man, the myth, the mullet, Stevie SQ.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, lads of the internet. Hope you're well. Yeah, we're at Willow Springs. This is a track I have been trying to push into the GT3 calendar for since they began, really.
Why hasn't it worked?
Because people don't like it. I love it. It's the best track in the world. Other than Silverstone International, that's the best track in the world. But this is the other best track in the world.
Okay, so last week we were at the best track in the world, and this time we're at the second best track in the world. So is it...
No, we're not the second best, we're at the best.
Oh,
they're like tied best.
Oh, okay. So equally best. Wow, that's pretty good. Couple of fixtures, races then, venues.
Alternate facts.
Very much so. So we are in qualifying. 5 minutes left of the 15-minute session, and the man you're watching at the moment going back out on track after aborting his previous run is the championship leader Charf. And let's see where his championship challenger Enzo is at the moment. He's third on the provisional grid. They are only separated by 2 points. I said wrongly 3 points last week, which is because I've gone through the first 3 events here, thinking that there is a pole position point, but there isn't.
Oh wow! Nice to know you do your research.
Yeah, so I've taken that into the calculations when I clearly shouldn't have. So so the gap is actually 2 points between Charf and Enzo. and if Enzo retains pole here, he will not gain a bonus point for that, unlike in the GT3 leagues, which is good to know.
Yeah, I'm glad you clarified that immediately, because I was going to pull you up on it and go, actually, I think you'll
you
find it's 3 points.
I'm
glad you clarified that immediately.
Yeah. So, that's how it is. We're going to have a closer look at the full standings at the halfway point of the season. After qualifying, when we're in the warm-up break, but for now, actually Enzo's dropped down to 4th even, in the space of me talking. He's 3.5 tenths off Charv, but half a tenth off the 2 guys in front of him, and that is the 2 Dutch guys actually, Claessens and Gronstra, the 2 teammates in the orange cars. We're very close together. So
3 thousandths apart.
3,000. That's crazy.
7 thousandths apart. This is the thing with this circuit. Because it's mostly flat out, there's very little margins of error.
Yeah, Stevie,
Go on.
just go ahead and talk us through this circuit, because I'm going to open the track map here and you can see sort of the layout and get a feel for it. And you can give us all of the characteristics and why it's so amazing.
Okay, so if you're looking at the track map, the first best thing about it is it looks like a gun, but like a flobbery gun, right? You'll never be able to unsee that now. Right, the next best thing is turn 1. Now, normally, it's a little bit of brake, chuck it in. However, if you notice just before you turn in, there's no brake marker boards. There's no brake marker boards around the whole track. There's just cones.
God.
And the thing with cones is cones can get hit. As Enzo has just gone P2, by the way, as I'm on board with him. He's still 2.5 tenths off Shaft, but he's P2, he's the closest challenger. Then you've got turn 2, maybe turn 2 and 3, I'm not sure, but it's the longest corner known to man. You can understeer quite wide. Normally it's quite flat with a little bit of lift, depending on how your car set up and how well you can get around the corner. Then you got turn 3, maybe 4, uphill left-hander, doubling back on yourself. This is almost like hairpin. If you run wide, you'll go up a hill and you'll crash. Don't run wide. Then you got turn 5, another uphill over the crest hairpin. Very important you get this right, because this sends you back downhill. But again, if you understeer off, you'll end up on some sand and you'll never get back. Then you got turn 6. Ends up, we've gone too fast for me. He's got away from me a little bit here. Anyway,
Yeah, I wasn't watching him anyway, so...
Well, I was going with him.
Oh, Gronstra's off the track.
Then you've got turn 6. Downhill corner, quite a tight left, easy to run wide. If you run wide, just a little bit off the apex, you're going to ruin pretty much the entire second half of the lap. Because after that, it's a long straight, with probably the longest straight, in inverted commas, that there is on the track. And then you've got the 2 final corners, which are brilliant. They are so fast. The last corner itself there's a bit of a sweet spot to get it right, because you just want to clip the curb on the inside, not too much, because it'll send your car wappy. But if you get it right, you get a lovely trajectory past the pit entrance down towards the start-finish straight.
Amazing. So I was looking on board from the bumper of Gronstra as he did his lap, and I have to be fair here, it does look like a lot of fun to drive. My concern is is it going to generate good battling?
Yes.
You're confident in this?
Of course, I'm confident in everything until I'm proven wrong,
yeah.
and even then I reflect and come up with reasons as to why I was actually right. The thing with this circuit is you can't make a mistake.
Yeah.
If you hit a curb too hard, it'll spit you off. If you run a little bit wide, you'll be on the sand and you'll be off. There is no nice, lovely tarmacy run off for you to cushion you if you make a little mistake. There is just sand, and sand is horrible. It punishes mistakes. Interesting as well, if you were to have a look down the pit lane, it's got a very weird pit lane. It parks people...
It's like a normal parking lot.
Yeah, or a car park.
Yeah, car park.
But it's the only track on Project Cars that has that. But anyway, here's your results.
Very interesting. So Charv did take pole, but doesn't get a bonus point because there is none. Enzo in second place, so the championship contender up there as usual. Claessens ahead of Gronstra, Jeff Hetharian, quite high up actually. Vernox, Hideaki, Jens Ginetta, and Branders in the top 10. Then Andrex, Rillo, Mr. Alcon, Papand, and Cole McCoy. The 15 runners here today. That is the order they will be starting in for the sprint race, of course. As usual, there is a 2 race format here. So we're gonna start off with a, I think it's 11 laps for the sprint race this time. And then that is obviously with the grid order based on the qualifying. And then we shall have a second race afterwards, twice as long, 22 laps. Which will have the grid based on the reversed order of qualifying.
Unbelievable.
Which is just crazy. So, while overtaking might be trickier in the sprint race, luckily that's the shorter race. So in the long main race, we're gonna have, you know, despite the potential difficulties given the high-speed nature of this track in terms of passing, we're definitely gonna have some action in the second race at least because of the you know, the differences with the fast guys at the back and the front guys at the front guys with and the slower guys at the front.
I'm already setting up the overtake I want to see.
Right.
I want to see someone go right around the outside at turn 2.
That would be tricky
Amazing.
and very impressive if they did.
If that happens tonight, I'll be amazed. I'm not going to make a bet because it'll probably happen and I will have to do it.
Yeah, because those of you watching the stream, you can look at the track map. The massive right hand right at the bottom of the track map.
That's the handle of the gun.
Yeah. Well, actually, on the track map, it's called something. It's called the rabbit's ear.
The what?
The rabbit's ear.
The rabbit's ear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has anybody ever seen a rabbit's ear? It doesn't look like that.
Well, clearly, according to track makers, it does.
If you want to look at it as something else, it looks like a part of the male body that's had a slight deformity. That's all I'm going to say on that one. But if you look, going back to my gun analogy, if you look closely where the exit of the pit lane is at turn 1, on the inside, there is like a little trigger. It looks like a little trigger. Anyway, do you want to do the championship standings?
Yeah, I suppose we can do that. So, championship standings halfway through the season after 3 weeks and 6 out of 12 races. We have got this order. Charf, as we mentioned, on top by only 2 points though ahead of Enzo. So those two guys starting on the front row again here. And it'll be very interesting to see how they get on. Charf has done really well in all of the sprint races. He has, well, he converted both the first 2 into a win. And then he was about to do the same last time at Silverstone. Then he got a corner cut slowdown and dropped to 6th on the final lap.
Oh, yes, he did.
So that is, you can see how much that has affected the championship, of course. Enzo finished 3rd in that one. And yet now there's only 2 points apart. 10 further points down to Vernux in 3rd. And he's only 2 ahead of Claesens, as Hideaki has had a very big crash in the background. But anyway, that's just a crash sound you heard. You can see Andrex, Gronstra, Nismo, Jeff, Janetta, Hideaki in the top 10. Rillo also in 11th. Yeah, the top 11 have been present for all of the races so far. And I believe they're all here today. At least I hope so.
That's all on you, that one.
Yep. And then Brandress as well. I will quickly check if he's here, because that would be the last man. Yeah. So that's the 12 guys who have been in every race this season so far. And you can see that it affects the championship, because 11 of them are right at the top. Then the team championship, pedal to the metal, leading by 28 points. And I think that's the team of Charf and Vernux. And then the orange team of Claesens and Gronstra in 2nd place. But they're equal on points, actually, with uncoordinated, which is Enzo and Nismo. So in the team championship as well.
That's a funny team name.
Yeah, especially well, I assume it's a play.
The irony.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the 2 coordinators, but clearly they're not too confident in their coordinator skills just yet.
Can I draw a point based on what we heard? Unless if you finish with the championships.
Yes, as I'm watching Enzo sitting next to a tire barrier, which isn't made of tire, it's made of blocks.
Did you
so it's
see
not a tire barrier.
The gap at the top of the timesheets and qualifying between 1st and 2nd?
I might have done.
Because it was about half a second.
Was it that much? I thought it was like 4 tenths, isn't it?
It was 4 point something.
Yeah.
And we round up for dramatic effect. So it was about half a second. That's quite a gap on a circuit with only 9 corners.
That is very true. So, yeah, it's going to be, as usual, tricky for people to challenge Charf in the sprint race.
Without trying to impose any bias, somebody needs to get ahead of Charf at the start.
According to Brownski, it was only 0.3 actually, so I think you're exaggerating here.
Not 0.3 what? No!
the gap to
I
the chart.
saw! No! Rewind the tape!
I use my eyes to see differently. But
Alright,
I don't know.
0.3
I
is
can't
still round
remember.
up.
Well, maybe 0.3 is rounding down and 0.4 is rounding up. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be hard to challenge Chaff around here. But of course, in the second race, Chaff will be right at the back, and that's where the real challenge for him will come, because we've seen, especially struggles for him getting past Enzo in previous main races.
Oh, yes.
And they've had some great battling. So I think the race should be starting soon. Usually it starts with 5 minutes left of the warm-up. But I guess...
4 minutes, 15 seconds.
Yeah. Looks like all the drivers are still in the session, so I'm not really sure why they haven't skipped on.
Well, Bronski in the chat just said that he had Shaft had the same gap at Zuhai and only won by 1 second.
Oh, yeah.
And
Also
by
by-
the sounds,
also
I'm
ahead of
thinking
Enzo.
about it, is he blew the win last week in Silverstone. Maybe he's just really good at qualifying. And
Well,
racing
he
just lacks that
definitely
bit
is
of
good in qualifying,
consistency.
considering he's been in pole for every race.
All right, he's
Yeah.
really good at qualifying.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, of course, race is something differently. It's always possible to do one really fast lap, but it's more of a challenge doing it for 11 laps in a row, and then 22 laps in a row afterwards, especially in the main race when they have to contend with cars around them as well, as we are still watching cars in the parking lot. So it's fun as me. Look at my lovely livery that isn't getting any track time because neither myself or Brownski is actually racing. But
Unbelievable.
still good to look at. And there's you, Stevie.
Hi.
You're running the same livery as Enzo, so clearly you're teammates.
No, I'm not teammates with anybody. I'm completely unbiased. You know what I mean.
Imbibed. Anyway, I'm going to give a shout out to the people in the chat. I've seen Miniman, obviously. I've seen Brownski. I have seen Alec. I've seen Evan on his birthday. Happy birthday, Evan!
Happy birthday, Evan! Everyone should say happy birthday to Evan
Everyone.
a million times.
Say happy birthday to Evan. He is
Tweet him.
turning about 2 years old. And also, I saw a couple of other guys. News CS, quite early on in the stream, and Taleb Skimarko. Oh, I remember you from the Daytona race. You were actually asking about the Daytona race. Yeah, I forgot to save highlights from the Daytona race on Twitch, but you can go on my YouTube channel to find it. I've got the highlights on my main channel and the full stuff on my second channel. But anyway, we are now in the race. Hey, where the frick is my mouse cursor gone?
Mouse cursor.
Mouse cursor completely disappeared. So lights are out. We're gonna have information up. Oh, there we go. Mouse cursor is back. That's very helpful. So we're gonna jump into the spectator mode. Found a proper camera. And now Charf is pulling away in front of the field. We'll have the normal manual rolling start procedure. So this is when I should have done my research to know where the information point and the acceleration zone is, but you know, I'm sure these guys know. It's more important that they know than that I know, to be fair.
You knew I was commenting. You could have said, "Hey, why didn't you look that up?" And I would have looked it up.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Look it up now then.
Oh, no. I'm too excited now.
Well,
And it
Stevie.
would require me using my phone, which is the slowest thing in the world, so it'll never happen.
Ah, yes. The,
I can tell you after the race.
infamous Stevie phone, which has got no screen
Copyright.
or something. I don't know. Anyway.
That's your braille.
Right, I mean, it's not too long a lapse. I can only assume that formation point. I'm going to guess that formation point is before that long final corner,
I would hope so.
and the acceleration zone. Well, you know, on the straight before it, and the acceleration zone, as per usual, should be on the main straight. So here we go. They are now starting to line up in a 2x2 formation ahead of the 11-lap sprint race. Order based on qualifying. And,
Best track in the world.
that's apparently the best track in the world. I've never. It's the first race I'm watching here, and I've never driven it. But
I'll be proven right.
yeah, hopefully so. Why does it change the bumper cam here? I don't like it.
I'm going to go on
Place
board
this
with Dangerous Giannetti here, and I'll see what happens.
You'll keep an eye on the midfield stuff,
Yeah.
and I'll keep an eye on the front stuff. As Chaff leads the All packed, beautiful looking field, nice and colourful, and like the Force India, around the final corner. And then it's up to Chaff now, from about the start of the pit lane and until the finish line, where he will put his foot down. So there we go, the light is underway, the race is underway, and Charf, as usual, from pole, getting a good start, and ends up being swamped actually by the orange cars. He has got Claessens on his inside. That's not the way he would have wanted to start his race. Claessens up into second already at turn 1. Enzo not able to fight him off. Gronstra in 4th position ahead of Jeff, and then we have Vernox ahead of Hideaki, and he is side by side with his teammate actually. And that is a Tharion who has dropped. Tharion dropped to 2 or 3 places from where he started, I think. So not the best start for him. He's definitely qualified higher up than we've usually seen him. So he's down to 8 now. And has anything happened further down that you've seen?
No. Branders and Willow went side by side through turn 1, and Willow tried to be amazing and do my dream outside overtake of turn 2, but couldn't do it.
It's good to know. Enzo actually now being pressured by Gronstra as well. He tried to stick his nose up a little bit over the top of the hill there, but wasn't able to make anything of it. Jeff a little bit wide on the next one. I can't really remember all the corner numbers because it's a new track for me, but Vernox in P6. He's P3 in the championship, of course. He's another very fast guy, and will definitely be looking to make up a few positions here for his championship challenge. But he's got Jeff ahead of him, who we know from last week at Silverstone CV is pretty good at defending and getting involved with the faster guys.
He is, and he may be under pressure here because he had a little bit of moment at the uphill little corner, and Vernox had a bit of a run, but might not make any difference now.
So,
although he's defending,
he's forced to defend because Vernox getting very, very close there. Trying to go around the outside, that's always going to be tricky at a corner like that, even though it's only banked towards the inside. In my opinion, well, I feel like that kind of helps the potential around the outside move, but it didn't on that occasion. And of course a very long turn 2. We are looking for the round the outside move to happen, but well, I don't know what the odds are on that, to be honest. It's gonna be hard.
Probably pretty slim. Andrex and Alcon were side by side through most of it, but I think there was more Alcon passing on the inside as opposed to Andrex.
Right.
Although they're still battling now, as Alcon's just edged him out at the top of the hill as they come back down again. It's back down to single file again.
So a little bit of a gap forming ahead of Mr. Alcon up to the top 10. So Alcon holding up Andrex. Colin McCoy, who hasn't been here on any of the other 2 weeks that I've commentated on. So nice to see the face on the grid. Not too familiar with him, but he's ahead of Papan, so he must be good. Oh, and Andrex now trying to challenge Mr. Alcon into the final corner. It's another very long one. It would be impressive to hold it around the outside here as well, to be fair. And Alcon is certainly trying. Let's, oh, actually, and then, oh. He's backed off, and then he's trying to cut underneath on the final bend. That was very cheeky, but he hasn't quite made it work. He's going to have an almighty slipstream, though. Down at the main straight. Is Andrex going to be forced defensive a little bit? Alcon breaking on the wider line. Oh, very close to Mr. Cole behind. And that's going to put him under pressure from Papa. So, oh, here we go. He's going for the round the outside.
Go on,
Papa!
Outside.
Oh,
come on, keep it going,
oh,
keep going.
It's such a long way. He can do it. He can do it.
He's still there. Go on. Go on.
Inside line for the next one. And he has done it. Unless Cole is fighting back with the outside on the next corner. This is incredible action here at the back of the field. Slight touch between them as well. We just forced Pop and wide, and unfortunately that means, well, he was able to hold it around the outside for the full turn 2, but he wasn't able to make it stick through the next few corners, so I'm not sure we can classify that. But it was certainly fantastic racing from both of those. So we got to jump up to the front now, and actually, where on earth is Enzo gone? Why is he in 7th place?
Yeah, apparently he must have made a little bit of a mistake somewhere, because he's dropped down the field quite significantly.
We just couldn't skip away from that battle at the back, I'm afraid. Even though it was for not too many points, it was still so amazing. But yeah, it's a shame for Enzo. We're going to definitely have to maybe get him in for another interview and hear what happened to him there. But Gronsra then has inherited 2nd place, and Scharf, as he's done quite often in the sprint races, looking very, very comfortable out in front. But of course, he will have a bigger challenge in the main race later on. What are you seeing?
Enzo and Vernox are getting very close into turn 1 there. Enzo's having a look at him now at the inside through turn 2. Can he do it? He's really being pinned to the inside there, though. Might be difficult for the outside on this uphill corner, but we've seen it happen. We saw Papand and Colin McCoy do it. And he's... Oh, the car in front's all over the place. But he's done it. He's got past him.
He has done it.
Up into 6th.
Yeah, fantastic.
He told you overtaking can happen.
Yeah. I believe you now, because we've seen some great battling actually so far in this race. We are not quite halfway yet of this quite short sprint race. And Bernixen demoted to 7th. And Enzo will be starting his catch-up job here now on Hideaki and Klaasen's head. And Jeff up to a podium position actually, which is interesting. He has not finished at the podium so far this season. Last week he finished both the races in 4th position. I'm sure he's eager to try to take one step higher up on the table. Apparently, according to the chat, I think it was Brown that pointed out that Brandress has died, which is a shame. I feel like he died last week as well in one of the races.
He died in both of them, unfortunately.
Both of them? Oh god. So he's had even more bad luck then, it seems here. It's a shame for him, but yeah, battle for a second. And I have to say, Jeff looking very strong actually. Challenging Gronstra now, getting very close on the exit out of turn 2. You can see his bumper view here now. He's right underneath his... well, from that point of view, he was underneath his railing. And hard out to pass through these slow corners, Steely.
It's exceptionally hard to overtake through these slow corners, but this is more about setting yourself up for a run later on. Enzo was is closing in on Hideaki as well here.
The whole field quite close actually. Well, all of the top 10 quite close actually, from 2nd to 10th. There's not too much of a gap between any of the cars, which is good to see.
I'm waiting on a move from Jeff here. He's so close to the second to last corner. He's so close, and that Gronstra got a little bit defensive into that final corner. This could be setting Jeff up a treat for turn 1.
Here we go then. Massive slipstream. Gronstra going all the way to the left. Yeah, definitely taking a clear defensive line. Now a bit in the middle though. Jeff could have maybe chosen to be a bit aggressive there and go for the inside regardless, but he's gone for the outside, and unfortunately that has not worked out for him. So good defensive drive from Gronstra on that occasion. And behind, Hideaki still holding on ahead of Enzo. I think these are the two, most likely imminent overtakes is Enzo on Hideaki or Jeff on Gronstra. But we just have to wait and see what happens. Hello as well to Wycombs in the chat, a man who commentated with me at the Zhuhai a couple of weeks ago. And maybe we'll be back for next week since apparently Stevie has plans for that to happen.
Well, we're coordinating it for you. Go on.
Enzo challenging Hideaki at a very unconventional place there. Going down the hill through the slow corners. Oh, and then Hideaki losing it a bit on the curb there. Through the fast right-hander. That is going to put Vernex as well ahead of him. That is a bit of a shame. Hideaki was doing well to keep Enzo at bay, but a little misjudgment has just lost him the momentum. And you mentioned how big of a fast section of the track this is, and he's going to lose momentum all the way down it.
Yeah, you just can't afford a mistake, but equally you can't afford to let any time go to waste because you're just going to get swamped. I guarantee if Enzo races in VR and looks right through that corner, he'd have had quite a scary moment when he saw Hideaki go. Aah! The last thing he needs with the championship as close as it is.
Yeah. At least Enzo now with a bit of clear air to at least make sure he stays out of trouble. But Hideaki is actually trying to fight back on Vernox after losing the position. Oh, and I can see in the foreground as well, Jeff still pushing Gronstra around the track. Up the hill here. It's oh, and again, it's interesting. Jeff runs really wide and actually puts nearly half his car on the gravel on the top of the hill. But he doesn't seem to affect his
brave line doing that.
Yeah.
They're just managing the track as much as they can. But if they overstep it, they'll be off.
Like I said, like you pointed out earlier, with the gravel right underneath on the outside of the white line, it can very easily drag your car off the track if you get too much of it on there. But it seems Jeff is the gravel's playing nice with Jeff, I guess, because he definitely had 2 tires on there and he didn't drag him too far.
Absolutely.
And again, I don't think he will be close enough unless he goes for a dive. But again, it's not the slowest, well, for this track it's pretty slow corner, but it's not the slowest turn one in general. It's a tricky one to make pass on. Enzo trying to make some inroads into Claessens. Let's check the lap times. Yeah, it was 7/10 quicker than Claessens on that lap. So Enzo clearly has the pace to make up for whatever mistakes he had. Speaking of mistakes, that was very far off the track actually.
Oof, that was indeed.
But I noticed.
Jeff Pratt nearly he may as well just imprint his paint job on the rear of Gronstra's car because he's so close to him at some points.
Yeah.
Gronstra cannot afford a single mistake because Jeff definitely looks faster.
He really does, which is a little bit surprising actually. Oh, and this time it was all four wheels off onto the gravel there. But again, gravel, I feel like the gravel here is much kinder than a Laguna Seca gravel, because if that was Laguna Seca, you'd be fucking... Okay, I shouldn't have said that, but anyway.
Wow!
It's my stream! I do what I want. That's just always my frustration about my Laguna Seca race, by the way, where the gravel did drag me across the track, and out of the track, and into walls and all over the place. And yeah, it seems like it isn't that harsh on the car around here.
It's not, but it can be.
It can.
And combined with the curbs, which you'd probably be better off not touching, it can be a bit of a git. Yeah, that's a word you can say.
Yeah, it's a much cooler word to say as well, actually.
Enzo is challenging Claessens here. Claessens went defensive into turn 3.
It's only a lap and a half to make it work, though. Jeff on Gronstra and Enzo on Claessens. They're running out of time here, so definitely have to make a move on, and maybe they'll be forced to get a bit aggressive towards the end.
I'm going to watch Shaft to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, like last time, of course, in the sprint race around Silverstone. Final lap, Shaft cuts the corner, get a massive slowdown. Drops from P1 to P6. I think he will probably have learned from that mistake by now, but Enzo now looking very close, nearly up the inside through the fast final corner. But Claessen's just able to carry the speed on the outside, running very wide as well in the entry through the final bend. And Enzo now, that is a much better run. That is a much better run. And he's forced himself on the inside coming into turn 1 now. That is surely going to be the move for P4 if Enzo can just make it stick under the braking. And we've seen the difficulty in holding it around the outside of this corner previously in the race. Claessen is certainly trying it with a bit of a wiggle. Oh, and he's done a really good job. Has part of his car still alongside. We're going to be seeing side by side through turn 2 now as well. Enzo forced to leave room. And here we go.
Come on.
Can Enzo do it? Can Enzo do it around the outside of turn 2? He's still got just about his car ahead, I think. You can see it from behind here. Can he do a pop-on?
Oh,
didn't manage to do, though. Claessen's very late on the brake, but has given him poor exit. And Enzo ahead with his car going up the hill. Great overtake. Enzo has done it. Round the outside, he held it through turn 2. And Claessen's now actually been put under pressure from Vernox as well. I think Gronstra has managed to hold off Jeff for a second. So we're not going to look at that. And there we go. Vernox is going to have a difficult line around here, the longer way around STV. And take us through the final 2 corners, because I'm exhausted already.
Claessen's has just held that off a little bit. There was a bit of squeeze in there, and I think that it's just lifted off a little bit. But it doesn't matter for the leader, who has crossed the line to win again.
Yeah.
He's flashing his lights. He's happy as can be. He's not blown it this time. Gronstra comes across the line to finish second. Jeff third. Enzo, brilliant overtake to take 4th. Busy, after you.
Oh, Wes Claessen's dropped to 8th, actually. While we're watching the leaders go across the line. But Claessen dropped 2 further positions, which is a shame for him. Willow gets 9th, I thought. Andrix crossed the line before him, but there might be another results error. Anyway, there's only 1 point in it, and I'm sure we'll get the proper results.
What happened to Claessen?
Yeah, I don't know. He must have made a mistake through the final corner, because going into the final corner, he was...
It must have been the final corner, because he was ahead of Vernox in the second to last one. Someone just hit the car.
Well, Vernox passed him in the second to last corner, but then he dropped to Ginetta and
if he fell off the
as
road
well.
trying to hold it on the outside.
Yeah, maybe.
Because there was a group of cars quite close together.
So, that was fun, actually.
Told ya! Told ya! Stevie's always right.
Yeah. And don't go anywhere, guys, because, as usual in this Touring Car League, there is a second race also coming up, which is going to be twice as long, and with a reverse grid based on qualifying. So Charf, the man who dominated the race here for the sprint race, he's going to be starting right at the back and will have to fight his way through the field to get as many points as he possibly can for the championship. And Enzo will surely be looking to... well, that's another resource.
Well, he starts on the back row as well, so...
Yeah, that's a good point, yeah. So he'll be looking to defend from Charf while they fight their way through the field, like he's done successfully quite a lot this season, although he had to give up with a few laps to go last time at Silverstone. But you can see all the cars now coming in to the parking lot. It's been a... Car park parking lot? What's the difference?
One's a car park, one's a parking lot.
What's the difference?
One's an Americanism, one's not.
Oh.
Therefore, one is right and one is wrong.
But we're in America now.
No, we're not. I'm not. I'm in my house in England.
Oh. Well, in that case.
And I hate to say this, you speak English.
Do I speak English?
Well, you're speaking it now. I hope you are. Otherwise, I'm fluent in Norwegian.
I'm speaking American, man.
No, you don't.
Anyway, Mr. Alcon having an orgy with my parked car, which is always good to see. Papa finished 13th.
You are not suitable for streaming. Orgies, swearing. There's a certain audience.
I'm sure they don't mind. My audience is mature.
What, they don't mind orgies and swearing?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anyway.
Why is Brandress still driving? Now he comes into the pits, quite far behind. So at least good to see Brandress after his very early problem, still continue on in the race.
He was catching Colin McCoy at one point. But I guess that was short-lived.
Yeah, it does seem like it. So, I guess the server should go back to the lobby at some point, but he doesn't seem too keen at the moment. So, there we go. There we go. In the meantime, I guess we can try and work out how the sprint race results affect the championship. Chav obviously
got more points than Enzo did.
Chav got more points, so Chav got 24 points for the win, whereas Enzo finished 4th and got 17. That's a 7-point swing. That's 9 points now from Chav down to Enzo. So Enzo definitely depending now on a, getting some cars between himself. Well, first of all, beating Charf in the main race, and then also preferably getting some cars in between them as well, if he wants to come out of this event today, anywhere near as close as he was going in. But no, everything can happen in those reverse grid races, as we know.
Thinking about it on reflection, Enzo fell off the road or made a mistake on lap 3 or 4. By the remaining 7 or 8 laps, he made 3 places.
Yes.
So you can overtake, but it's going to take you a while to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can overtake, but you have to be a bit more patient, I guess, than on many other circuits.
Or you're going to have to pick your moments.
Yeah. So overtaking is more of a skill run here, I guess we can say.
Yes!
As if it isn't,
that makes better drivers.
Yeah. In these kind of cars, overtaking is always the skill, because there's no artificial stuff helping out, like DRS or, those kind of things. But, around the track where it's hard to overtake by nature, then it's going to be even more impressive. So...
Are we giving Enzo that one for around the outside at turn 2? I mean, he held it around the outside, but he didn't really complete the move there. So
Enzo obviously went for a move on the inside of turn 1.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sort of giving him a half a point for it because he held it on the outside, but he didn't complete the pass there.
Yeah. Well, I think that's fair. Obviously, he started the pass at turn 1. He gave himself a chance to make the pass stick by doing that amazingly at turn 2. But of course, then he actually did make it stick through turn 3 and 4. But still,
I think we'll call him the winner of that particular challenge unless somebody else does it better.
Yeah. So Enzo temporarily leading the around the outside turn 2 challenge.
See how many of the co-commentators give drivers challenges that they don't know about.
Probably none, really.
Exactly.
With the best.
There's a reason I'm here.
Hello.
Hey, look at the map. It's a gun. Just a flobbery gun. It really is. It looks like a gun made out of Play-Doh.
It's like a mix of a gun and a whale, I think.
No.
Oh.
Be ridiculous now. I mean, yes, you're very yes. Anyway.
So I'm doing this second race by myself in the country box. See you, Stevie.
Oh. Happy birthday, Evan.
Yeah. He's still watching.
Yes, he is.
Hey, Evan.
Oh, he's off. I'll have a pizza.
Oh, there's Evan.
No, I don't actually.
Pizza? No, it's not pizza today.
It's not Xbox One highlights.
Oh, you gotta get a spicy pizza from the super cheap takeaway place. I can still offer some, Evan. I can order it for you if you want, but it's a bit tricky while I'm cheering. In any case, now it's going to be a 5-ish minute warm-up ahead of the main race. 22 laps, reverse grid. It's going to be exciting. And Alec, why don't you want pineapple, Alec? I mean, it has to be in a certain combinations. But pineapple pizza can be good if you got the right other ingredients.
No.
Yes.
No, all you need on a pizza, as this is the AOR PC BMW 320 Touring Car League stream, all you want on a pizza is as much cheese as is humanly possible and garlic. And that's it. Don't mess around with it, just appreciate the pizza for what it was. I have a horrible feeling that 2017 is going to be the year of the pizza meme.
Well, there's a pizza flying around on my channel these days with the F1 highlights where everyone's pizza fixated.
You're the pizza king.
I decide when people get pizza. And Evan, you are hereby allowed to eat a pizza on your birthday, so you're welcome. Hello to Mr. Zombie3 in the chat as well.
Bye.
Nice to see you. Hello to Harddropper as well. Hello to anyone else who is watching. 20 viewers, that's decent, to be fair, considering... considering I don't think Project Cars have shared this stream like they usually do for GT3.
Alex says pizza was a 2012 meme. Well, memes weren't even around. They were invented yesterday, so...
Anyway, what do we do?
I think the chat should make predictions on where they think Schaff and Enzo are going to finish respectively,
Great
starting
idea.
on the back row of the grid with 14 and 13 cars
I mean,
in front of them.
We should also make predictions to see if we can be better than the chat.
Go on then, you first.
So let us know, guys, in the chat who you think, where you think Schaff and Enzo will finish in this main race. Starting from the back row, Enzo in 15th, Schaff in 6th. Or was it 14th or 15th, I think. And we actually, before I make my prediction, I'm going to point out the fact that we got a new driver on the grid.
I was going to say, I just saw Bransky say that.
Yeah, CRC Fast Draw 7, who I will admit, I'm sure he's a great guy, but I have no clue who he is.
Is he supposed to be in a league?
I just need to figure this out quickly.
Well, I could jump in the team speak of the races and ask.
Maybe he's got a different forum name, I just can't remember his Steam name. Or can't really recognize it. Let's have a look here. So in the meantime, Stevie, you can make your prediction on where you think Schaff and Enzo will finish now.
I think they'll finish together. I think it'll be 6th and 7th in Enzo's favour.
Interesting. 6th and 7th, so you're not expecting to make up as much ground as...
no, I don't think it'll be as easy.
Interesting. Could be some incidents though, maybe. If people get a bit too impatient, and then, you know, incidents, I guess, can be quite big around a track like this, whether it's high speed, gravel, you know, if it isn't suddenly does happen, then it could catch up quite a few cars.
Oh, we've got some interesting suggestions here. Alex is 2nd and 3rd. Bransky says Schaff 3rd, Enzo 6th. I think that's going to be so ambitious. I know they've got a long time to do it, but with no pit stops and a track that's hard to pass on. Hey, Nismo.
Hey, Nismo. Are you not driving? No. Why isn't Nismo driving? Nismo, why aren't you not driving? And why have we lost someone? I think we've lost someone.
Is it that guy?
It actually is that guy. Yeah, it is that guy.
Hey.
Let me check if he's actually on the driver list and was meant to be here. and didn't just make his way in randomly. I'm looking at the list, and I can't see any names on the driver list.
Get the feeling he wasn't supposed to be here.
Yeah, so that's probably why he's now been told to leave.
And thank you to that guy that will never see the stream for actually listening and doing that thing. It's quite annoying. I had it once for GT3 when I was coordinating, and then someone joins and you're like, leave, and he went, no. I'm like, oh, don't do that.
So, as for Charles Enzo, I'm gonna go with. I want Enzo to beat Chav, just for the sake of the championship, of course. But I have a feeling, unfortunately, I'm gonna say Chav third, Enzo fifth.
Oh, okay. You're also
but I hope they're
making a podium.
Yep. Just because of how dominant his pace was, because of course he has taken his time previously to make moves, so we'll see how he goes. But now we are on the grid again. We'll have the grid reversal procedure now, where the coordinator Enzo will be calling out people's names in a reverse qualifying order, and then I will pull off the grid one by one in whatever order is correct. So
Colin McCoy will
Miss
start
McStally not... Oh yeah, you were going to holiday, weren't you? If I remember correctly. At least you got internet, yeah, that's a good thing, so you can watch. And Centro, hello to you!
Hi!
Another veteran AOR Project Cars driver, now on a city course. And yes, so let's see who's pulled up first. That would be Colin McCoy. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see how he copes with the pole position spot. It's always quite nerve-wracking to be on there, and especially when you're not quite used to it, because obviously that's what the reverse grid does. It does put the usually slower guys in a bit of a unusual position at the start.
But it's good experience for them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So Mr. Alcon has then. We'll be starting in second, Papan third, Willow, Papan's teammate, in fourth, ahead of Andrex, Brandrus, those two also teammates. And then just Janetta is going to be next in seventh, Hideaki coming around in eighth, Vernak's going to be in ninth. He's maybe in a decent position if he can find any of the sort of pace he's had recently.
You know what's going to play a massive role for Sharp and Enzo? I'll tell you.
That's good.
It's the fact that they've got Claessens, Gronstra and Jeff right in front of them. I think Jeff has quite a good shot of getting the podium. Another one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Obviously, as mentioned last week. Go on, now you go.
Yep, you go.
There you go.
All right. He starts ahead of Gronstra, who he was struggling to pass last time, and he should have a pace advantage over everybody in front. I think Vernix has got a great shot in ninth. Yeah. Then again, we saw how well Andrex managed to hold on to his place last time, so he also could bid for the result.
Yeah. That is why this main race is so intriguing and so exciting, because in a much bigger degree than in the sprint race, this will be much more down to who gets a good result. Is much more down to staying out of trouble. First of all, you don't want to get caught in an incident while you're battling in the pack, and it's all about racecraft, trying to efficiently and cleanly make your way through the field. And then if you do get some clear air at some point, then it's when you need to try and make use of the pace while the other guys are battling and try to break away. That's what Claessens did last time at Silverstone to win the main race by quite a margin. Let's see if anyone is able to do that today.
Bransky saying that Papan should be the favourite. Well, he's in a good place to do it if he wants to. He's already in a podium position.
Qualified far down though. Is that his actual pace, or because obviously he's usually one of the top guys in the GT3 leagues, but he hasn't quite lived up to that standard. Maybe hasn't really practiced as much as he usually does for this league or something like that. But yeah, Papan definitely a potential shot for a win. We'll see how they go. As now, Colin McCoy will put his foot down in just a moment to take the field away. And oh, he's taking his time, but here we go. The race is underway for 22 laps here again at Willow Springs with a reverse grid. And McCoy out cleanly, and Papan up to second already, reacting well to the start there. Mr. Alcon dropping to third, having to leave room on the inside. Further down the field, Andrex side by side with Brandrus, and then Brandrus decided to be side by side with the Yaki instead, but he's held on to that one. And Stevie, can you keep an eye on the further back guys?
I am doing.
And Papan actually dropped a position. Mr. Alcon passed him back through turn 2. Very, very impressive. I think that was an inside move though, if I saw it correctly. So we didn't miss around the outside, which is good. Mr. Alcon now trying to put the pressure on Colin McCoy in that unusual position, right at the front of the field after having qualified last. So you wouldn't expect him to have the pace, but he is trying to defend, and so far for the half of the lap he's done well to hold on to the lead.
The back, Enzo was briefly up into 13th and has fallen back down. Jeff came under a little bit of pressure, but hasn't really gone anywhere. Gronstra's made the most.
Ooh, he's passed Vernex.
He's up to 9th. Yeah, he's already up to 9th.
Jeff following through.
Yeah, Vernex didn't have a good run through that corner. I don't think Vernex will lose any more place this week.
Enzo, Charf still at the back in the positions they started in. We've seen in other races as well, they've taken their time at the start, being quite cautious and not really getting in position right at the start of the race. And it's a very nice, clean first lap, I have to say. There's been no crashes at all on the first lap of this race. Colin McCoy really under pressure, defending. Oh! Could have been 3 wide. No, Papa, that would have been death if he had done that, to be fair. So it's probably a wise move to back out of that one. But Mr. Alcon still challenging all of his. Oh, he lost some speed on the outside there of turn 1.
Yeah, I think he got a little too hot. Go on.
Hideaki off the track. He's very much off the track, very far to the inside, and he's taking his time to rejoin as well.
Vernex was off on the outside as well.
Oh yeah, and Brandrus has dropped back. Oh my word, as Charv is behind Vernex. So Vernex, and then Enzo is ahead. So Enzo's got a car now between himself and Charv, and a bit of a gap actually, but he's got a massive bunch of cars. Tharion, Claessens, Jeff, Gronstra, all bunched together. Although Gronstra you'd expect, and Jeff as well, would be faster than the two behind.
Oh, McCoy for the lead!
Oh!
McCoy just made a little mistake through the downhill.
Papan!
Oh, Papan! Didn't even see him.
Absolute craziness going on here at the front. Very opportunistic from Papan to suddenly slot himself underneath while the two other guys were side by side. And Papan suddenly takes the lead of this race. Colin McCoy now being put under pressure from Andrex, so he's on the inside, very nearly being squeezed a little bit, but he's all clean as
Watch out for the pit lane!
Oh, nearly hitting the pit wall. That's Claessens actually. No, that was Gronstra. Claessens now challenging him. And Enzo's gonna go on the inside. Oh, he's not gonna dive on Gronstra. That would have been dangerous with Gronstra also having Claessens next to him. But
Enzo just dived past Hetharion into turn 1 though.
Yeah, and Vernex battling with his teammate Charf. He's not really helping him out. It's Vernex, so it's clearly no team orders in this team. Vernex defending with the inside line. Charf trying to hold it outside, but isn't able to do it. Hetharion now ahead of Vernex, and look at how much it's bunching up here. Oh my word.
They're so close. Mr. Alcon's taken the lead again. Somewhere along the line. Papan is down to second place now. Andrex is going past Colin McCoy.
Oh no, I heard a crash sound back there. Gonna try and find out what happened. Gronstra has dropped to 13th, so he has had a problem. Hideaki as well, 14th. And Hetharion's way off the track. Ah, he's all the way down in last now. And has dropped a lot of time.
Up to 7th place. He's just got past Cole fell off the road.
So Colin McCoy starting to drop back now after starting on the pole. Oh my word, it's impossible in these races to know where to look. It's amazing. Oh, it's like, oh no! Oh, no! Huge incident! Huge incident!
Oh no!
There was a car sliding through the final corner. I think that might have been Andrex. Yeah, because Andrex gone from
damage.
And now Vernex and Enzo and Charv are close together again. They're all together going into turn 1. They are at least able to keep it clean just about. Enzo forcing his way through on Jeff. Up to 3rd now is Enzo, unless Jeff can challenge him back. Enzo's going to have to hold it around the outside of turn 2 again, like it did in the first race. And this time he's a bit further ahead, so he's actually has made that move stick. And now there's a gap from Enzo up to Papan and Mr. Alcon. So Enzo making great work of whatever happened there with that incident. And Charf, where is Charf? Did I just miss it? Yeah, 7th. This is interesting now. Charf really has to get a move on if he wants to stay close with Enzo here.
Absolutely, that was so unfortunate for everybody considering they were so close. But no, this is it. This is pack racing, so to speak. So.
Yep. And I think you're right in saying that Jeff had damage. Oh, and he nearly lost it ahead of Charf. Charf luckily avoided him, and now Jeff is dropping like a stone. Not only.
Cole is overtaking Charf.
What?
Cole has just passed him.
Gee, go on, Cole. Cole is fighting back.
Charf will not appreciate that one little bit. Because we're a little bit wide, so I'm going to be inside the final corner. He's not going to do it though. He's thought better of that. He saw what happened last lap. He doesn't want to repeat.
Fantastic stuff.
This is a great opportunity for Enzo though, if it can maybe even catch up to the cars in front.
Absolutely. Always nearly 3 wide. I think that was Danger Janetta thinking about it. Cole's going to try to hold it around the side of Charf through turn 1. He's still got part of his car alongside, possibly into turn 2, but no, Charf manages to brake later, cut across. Oh, Danger Janetta off way into the gravel. Brandrus, I think that was as well, and they've lost a lot of time. Probably a bit of contact between those two. And Danger Janetta rejoining ahead of him. Andrex now in 10th. I think that was the guy who had that slide on the final corner to cause a crash. That's now hearing crash sounds. Are you seeing anything?
No, I was seeing who was in the pits. Jeff and Rillo have both pitted. They've both come out now.
That's a shame. Big shame.
Jeff has just come out behind Thario in last place.
I got some visual damage on Enzo actually.
Enzo, let's have a look. Can I see any damage on Enzo? No, he looks fine. Oh, on the front, definitely.
Front left, lots of damage there.
Oh, his bonnet completely crumpled to me.
If he's run this full lap in clean air, but I'm going to compare Mr. Alcon and Papan's laps. You'd expect from qualifying pace to be slower, but they got quite a gap now, so they're running 121 flat and 120.8, and Enzo, despite that damage though, 120.7, so he's closing, but not by too much actually.
And the party spoiler here is that there was one man that did the fastest lap of the race so far, and that would be a 120.670, and that was Sharf, who is now in P5.
Oh, he's nearly off the track!
Commentators, sorry! He's got to drop down to 7th place!
That's the thing you talked about with the gravel just dragging your car off, because he got a tiny bit of his car on the outside of turn 2, and he just completely dragged him across the line. It's hard to slow down when you got, you're trying to slow the car down on the gravel. And Charf has dropped again behind Cole McCoy, and also behind Claessens this time.
There could be a move for the lead here. Papan's really close to Mr. Alcon, and Mr. Alcon just made a little bit of a mistake. Through the downhill corner, is Papan going to have a look into the second to last corner? He is, he's going for it, they're side by side. Mr. Alcon on the outside, Papan on the inside. Can he make it stick? It's going to be difficult to go on the outside here, but he's done well done, Papan. He's held it on the inside.
He has
done.
Well,
Mr. Alcon have another go though into turn 1.
That remains to be seen. He certainly grabbed as much slipstream as he can, but he's not closing too fast. He has the duty to dive here if he wants to, but Papan decides in the end to go a little bit defensive and force Mr. Alcon on that difficult outside line there. And I think that is, for now at least, Papan having made the move for the lead. So I think that might have been a good shout to, I think it was Brownski that said, Papan is a good shot for the lead there, for the win even. And Mr. Alcon, though, he has to be said, he's doing a really good job to keep with him and challenge him hard. Enzo in third, Vernix not far behind, and then there's a big gap now to Charf, who has made his way back past.
Yeah, I was about to say that. He went from 5th to 7th to 5th in 1 lap. I clearly didn't commentate it close enough.
Yeah. Gronstra now making moves as well, passing Hideaki, and Cole McCoy has dropped some time down to 8th now. And dropping back a little bit. His previous lap was, he's had a problem with 124.6. That's 3-4 seconds of the pace.
Enzo's still running pretty good pace though, so I assume his damage is only visual. He was a 10th slower than Vernix on the last lap. And he's the second quickest car on track, so.
Yep.
So I assume he's all good. Mr. Alcon's not letting Papan get away with this though. He is right up behind him. I don't think he's going to have a move yet, but he might just be sitting there waiting.
Further back than on the previous lap. So this time I don't think Papan will have to take a defensive line, and he doesn't.
Sharf can do in clear air.
I think if I was in Mr. Alcon's shoes there, if he feels that Papan has got more pace than him, I'd be completely fine with just sitting behind him, let him do the pulling, and then in the final few laps he can try and pull something out of the bag to pass him if they're still 1-2, because obviously if I were them, I would not want to fight too hard, just so they can try and maintain that position and the gap to Enzo behind.
Absolutely. Enzo's catching them, no doubt. Vernux isn't far behind Enzo, and Sharp is definitely catching. He just set a new fastest lap of the race, so he is absolutely flying. So I don't think it'll be too long, unless it would be even better, because the top, 3, 4, and 5 are catching in reverse order to the top 2. So we could have a 5-way fight for the lead.
That would be amazing if it happens, and it's not an unrealistic thing either. Currently looking at Andrex, who might be making a move on Colin McCoy for 8th position. The inside line going through into the final section of the lap. It's a very long right-hand section, and it's going to be hard for Colin McCoy to hold around side, but he's certainly trying. It's not the best camera angle here, but I think Andrex might just have the upper hand with the shorter route through that long corner. Although Colin McCoy's done really a great job to keep half his car alongside,
really well done.
And he's gotten a decent exit, so he will have the preferred line into turn 1 now. Can Andrex pull off around the outside move here? I think he will try it. He definitely will, but it's such a tricky one, and a bit of a wiggle as well. I think he has to give up on that one for now. So Colin McCoy definitely showing some fight here.
He's making a good debut.
Yeah, definitely.
He's really getting involved, which I like to see.
It is not actually his debut, I've just realized now, because it did a race in the first 2 events at Laguna Seca when I also was driving.
Alright, it's a debut to
But
me.
I didn't really notice him, because I only noticed gravel in that when I was in the car there.
Well, he's a debut to me. Oh,
Yep.
so he actually made a little bit of a mistake.
Debut to the broadcast.
Exactly. That's seeing. I know what I meant.
Exactly. Brandrus, I'm just looking down the field now. Brandrus by himself in 11th, Bronzer by himself in 12th, Willow by himself in 13th, Ethereum by himself in 14th, and Jeff a couple of seconds behind in 15th. So the bottom 5 at the moment are sort of the guys who have had some problems. Papan actually pulling away now.
I was gonna say Mr. Alcon's not quite able to live with Papan's pace at the minute. He's lost another 4/10 on that last lap. Enzo's still catching. Enzo's running consistent 20.3s. Vernux is catching consistent 120.2s. And Sharf is consistent 20.1. So they're all catching. The top 5 are, top 3, 4, and 5 are gaining. Oh, as Papan runs very wide out of turn 2. That won't be any good. Don't do that. You may end up on the sand that's really not good.
So we've already seen examples of tonight already. So Papan looking good. Let us know now in the chat then, guys, who you think will win this. Obviously Papan has got the position at the moment. Mr. Alcon trying to hang on, but we got Enzo, Vernux and Sharp all closing in here. So let us know, as we are nearly at the halfway point in the race, who do you think will actually come out on top in this one? I have no clue. It's between all of the top 5 still, I think.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading the chat. Bransky is pointing out that I'm reading the times wrong. No, I'm not. I know what I'm looking at. I'll give it in the chat, don't worry about it. Mr. Alcon is definitely gaining on Papan this last lap. Papan's had a bit of a scruffy lap. As I can see, based on the last lap information, that Mr. Alcon gained 0.6 of a second on Papan and a certainly personal best lap.
Enzo said at 120 flat. Enzo was actually 0.8 faster than Vernux on that occasion, and he's closed very rapidly. That is the fastest. Is this the fastest lap of the race?
It is, yes.
It is indeed. So Enzo just set the fast lap of the race. Yeah, I think you're right then. That damage we're seeing isn't actually there. It's must be some kind of visual issue, because he's certainly not driving like he has any damage. That's for sure.
He's really gained on 2 now as well. He's visibly. He's much closer.
Yeah. Perfect scenario here for Enzo, of course, would be for him to make the pass on the top 2 and Schaff not be able to catch up. Oh, and Mr. Alcon running wide slightly on the gravel there. That's going to give an Enzo now a chance into the final few corners. He's going to grab that inside as well. So I think this might just be the move for a second. Mr. Alcon's going to try to hold it out around the outside, like Colin McCoy did earlier on. Can Mr. Alcon do that as well on a man who is running a rapid pace? And not quite. Enzo is ahead and away as we start at the main straight at exactly the halfway point of the race now, I think. 11 laps done, 11 laps remaining. Mr. Alcon though gaining in the slipstream. Enzo really should have defended the inside line there, because now he's forced on the outside. Oh, he's getting very tight, but I think he's just about done enough there to keep the momentum around on the outside line. But he doesn't want to run that wide on turn 2.
Wide. This is just helping Papan no end, and Vernux is gaining on them quite quickly as well.
Mr. Alcon fighting like a hero here to hold Enzo off, and he's doing such a good job. And there we go, Enzo not able to make the pass here. Really,
exactly what Enzo doesn't want.
Enzo made a mistake, I think. He definitely made a mistake not defending into turn 1. He would have had it then, I think, because we very rarely have we seen.
Oh, let's go for it again.
Oh no!
A little bit wide. That's Vernux through, and Schaff and Enzo are going to be on track. I think
Mr. Alcon's given him position. Yeah, so Mr. Alcon taking blame for that one, just running a little bit too deep, pushing Enzo off the track, and now Charf is going to be right with him. So
and right next to Enzo.
I shouldn't have mentioned Enzo's ideal scenario here, because it's all gone wrong now. They've now got 0 cars between himself and Charf. So we're in a similar situation to previous main races, where Enzo is just ahead of Charf and will be forced to defend. And the question is, can he do it till the end of the race this time? He was able to do it till the end of the race in Zhuhai, but not in Silverstone. So here we go again between Charf and Enzo.
If we're proving one thing tonight, it's that the commentator curse is very real.
Yeah.
I mean, I've cursed Schaff, you've cursed Enzo. It's just all going wrong.
Not intentional, man.
It's not, absolutely not. We're praising them. Schaff was really close to Enzo.
Okay, I'm going to stop praising them. Both of them been absolutely shit.
Stop swearing!
Shit! Yeah.
Stop it!
You have to be very sensitive for that to be a swear word, in my opinion, but that's just me.
In the UK, you would be hauled over coals for that.
But the UK can... I'm not
Careful,
in the UK,
careful.
so... yeah, I was about to say something that he wouldn't have liked. Luckily, I'm not in the UK, so it doesn't matter. So, anyway.
Vernix is up into P2 and is definitely going to be catching Papan now. Papan's now probably starting to sweat a little bit. He's got Vernix P2, Enzo P3, Schaff P4. 3 fastest guys on the circuit pretty much. All 2, 3 and 4 and getting on him. He really needs to just get his head down, just run his pace as fast as he can without falling off the road.
9... It's going to be 8 laps? No, 9 laps to go now for Papan. It's going to be
having a go at Enzo.
But
Enzo's gone defensive. He's not making the mistake he made with Mr. Alcon. Schaff's going to go to the outside. Can he do it? I don't think he's even going to try. He's just going to try and set himself up for an amazing overtake around the outside at turn 2. Come on, you can do it. No, you can't.
Oh, no, he can't.
He's back to Alcon.
Oh, Enzo got to make sure to not make the mistake he did previously, though, with Mr. Alcon, and run 2 on an entry to turn 2 and allow the other guy to slip underneath. But this time he was able to just about keep it tight enough. And Schaff is forced to stare at the rear of that white and red livery a little bit longer.
By the way, I just like giving Fizzy grief for swearing. I swear more than anybody on the planet. Anyway.
Well, if this was I don't know, professional bro, because I don't think we were quite in the professional bracket just yet.
Semi-professional.
We're trying to be, but
not with your swearing.
Exactly. So we'll keep it amateur for now. Which I'm sure
so close. He's just last lap. He did at 19.9, new fastest lap of the race. Only man into the 19s. I hope. I said that. Yes, he is. Nailed it.
Let's see. Yeah, pace would be interesting. 24.
Oh, laps like
20.9, 20.5 for Vernex, 20.6 for Enzo, 20.7 for Charf, 20.7 as well for Mr. Arcon, 20.8 for Oh yeah, Gronstra. Yeah, Gronstra had a good comeback, to be fair, after his early struggles, up to P6, just ahead of Hideaki now.
I keep going back to that battle. Those two have been running together for about 8 laps. And I keep going back going, oh, they're getting close. No. It's exactly the same gap. As Andrex and Okoye are getting a little bit side by side into turn 1. Andrex on the outside is not going to be able to do it, but he's going to set himself up for an amazing round the outside overtake at turn 2. Never mind, Cole's got him covered. I just want one.
Yeah. That's the problem with turn to the entry though. It's so fast an entry that you know, you have to have forced the other guy to have a poor exit out of turn 1 if you want a chance at all. Actually,
But it's possible.
It is possible if you manage to
There's no
line the
no.
other. Well, you do it then. If it's so possible.
I would, but I'm not driving.
Well, get you out in your car.
Good.
It's still
Anyway.
parked in the garage. You can do it.
Anyway, Evan's
There you are.
pizza's here, so it's fine.
That's good. Enjoy your pizza, Evan.
Sharf, Enzo, and Vernix are really close going down the pitch.
Vernix
You
dropped
can
some
take
time.
this.
Vernix has definitely dropped some time here, so Enzo is going to have a chance. Sharp gaining as well. Vernix defending the inside. Enzo held it around the outside here. Previously, is he going to do it again? No, he's run too wide. Sharp's now going to have the opportunity to slip past with the better line, but he's got his teammate in the way. Enzo's going to have the inside line. Sharp now forced to have the longer outside for this corner. Can he pull it off with Vernox just ahead as well? Both of them have to be very careful, and Enzo is actually fully ahead now on the exit, but Sharp with a better line, but unfortunately for him, the outside line into turn 3. This is fantastic racing. And can Sharp hold it on the side? No, Enzo's got him covered. Oh, and Vernox going slow off the hill. Enzo slipping through. Can he make this one stick? That would be an incredible move, and he can indeed. Sharp trying to follow him through as fast as possible. Doesn't want his teammate to hinder him at all, and he will have the tighter line through this downhill corner. But Vernox not to give him up. There is, as I mentioned earlier, there is no team orders here. These guys are fighting for position and for every point they can get. And this has given Enzo the potential chance to break away now if Vernox is able to hold Sharp off a little bit.
Who does Vernix drive for? Has he forgotten that Sharp is his teammate? Because all the way through the lap he is basically blocked.
Yeah.
Well, not blocked, but inadvertently slowed Sharp down. He's taken every line to compromise Sharp. Exactly what Sharp doesn't want, and Sharp has got past
He did
him.
do it round the outside of the last corner. Impressive stuff.
But Papan's looking in his mirror going, yes, keep going,
Yeah,
keep going,
exactly. Yeah.
keep going.
The more these guys are fighting, the bigger of a chance Papan will have to keep this gap. 5 laps to go for him now. Enzo only a couple of seconds back, and then now a bit over a second, I guess, from Enzo down to Charf, who is now ahead of his teammate, Mr. Alcon. Still holding on relatively close because of this battling, and Gronstra still ahead of Hideaki for 6th place. Dangerous Ginetta quite lonely now in 8th position, and Andrex is ahead now of Colin McCoy in 9th and 10th. Claasen's in 11th. Willow a couple of seconds further back. Oh, and Brander is actually not too far behind him. That could be some action for those guys. Oh, and also at the back of the field, Jeff battling with Atharion. They're actually going side by side right now into turn 2, but it's not going to happen soon. It's not going to happen.
You're running out of time! Someone needs to do it. Alec in the chat says Vernix has not been a good teammate. I would argue he's being the best teammate for a spectator.
Yeah, for spectator. Well, this is what everyone's moaning about team orders.
Yeah,
When-
let them race, let them
When
race.
teammates let them through, so clearly these guys have decided that if Char wants to pass him, they're gonna have to do it on merit and not on the fact they're his teammates. And I think that for the championship fight, I think that's fair, even though Char might not be too pleased about it. Might have a little sit down with Vernix afterwards, but for us, I think it's fantastic that these guys are forced to fight.
The battle I've been waiting to happen for so long has happened, and we missed it. Gronstra is ahead of Hideaki.
I swear it was ahead last time I looked.
Oh, that means I missed it even earlier.
You just live in the past, mate.
Well, that's not the first time I've been told that. Some say I go through my whole
I know
life
what you're
being
referring
told
to there. In any case,
Do you think Papan's got enough to hold off Enzo?
so he's got 3 and a bit laps to go. Previous lap time for him, a 121.18 tenths slower than Enzo. That's going to have to be battle, isn't it? It's going to have to be battle.
I think
if
it's gonna end up in a
Enzo
battle.
and also Charv, to be fair, who's not too far behind. If those guys keep up their pace, Papan will have to defend by the end of this race. Got 3 laps to go now as he comes across the line on this occasion, and he will definitely be forced to sweat now as Enzo and Charv, the championship contenders, are closing in.
Bransky just said Papan must have made a mistake, and I think he did, because that was quite a lot slower than what he'd done. His general pace has been high 20s. So to do it 21.3, that's been pretty off the pace for him.
Yeah, 1 second slower on this occasion, and Charf a further 2 tenths quicker than Enzo. Question is, of course, if Enzo reaches Papan, will he, if Papan is able to hold him up and, slow him down, will Charf come into play with Enzo again? That would be good for Papan potentially. If he's able to hold Enzo off for long enough for Charf to come into play, maybe Charf will start keeping Enzo company again.
Claessens and Cole into turn 1. Claessens was really determined to have the inside line. Cole defended down the pit straight, but Claessens was almost on the sand trying to get onto the inside line, but he's done it. He's got him into turn 1. For 10th place, Claessens is not really making the progress we thought he would.
No, not quite. Was dropped far back earlier on, but at least making up some places in the top 10 again. Yeah, it's overall a disappointment for Claessens, I would say. Next up for him is Andrex, but I'm not sure he'll have time to really catch him. Let's look at the front 5, who are now, as spread out as they've been all a race long. But has Enzo close in on Papan on this occasion. Let's look at the times. Papan back in the 20s, 20.9, and only 3/10 slower now than Enzo. But he's got 2 laps to go, and now Enzo is right there and surely within slipstream range, Stevie. This is going to get tasty.
Yeah, Papan was a little bit wide through turn 1. I think he's feeling the pressure a little. I know he knows he's 2 laps away, or 1 3/4 laps away from winning. He knows he's got a both championship contenders right behind him, because Scharf is already on the back of these two. Now, what does Enzo do? Does he try and go for the win, or does he focus on outscoring Scharf? Scharf's only got one objective, and that's finish ahead of Enzo. But what does Enzo do here?
He's definitely in the trickiest situation there. What is the priority? Defend from Charf or attack Papans? And he's gone slow through that corner, hasn't he? Oh, Charf nailed in next to him. Had to actually brake through that kink to not hit into him there, as Enzo came down on towards the apex. Luckily, he spotted that in time. That was nearly contact between the 2 championship contenders. And yeah, I think first priority for Enzo must be to stay ahead of Charf. But if he gets an opportunity to pass Papan, then he'll just have to try and grab it. But
absolutely.
Very interesting to see how they play it with 1 lap remaining in this race. And actually, Charf is closer to Enzo than Enzo is to Papan, and Enzo now forced to go defensive.
Is he trying to hold it on the inside? But if this doesn't always work, it might set him Scharf up for turn 2. Scharf's not drop back there, so he's not going to have it. He's not going to get around the outside of turn 2.
This is turned out to exactly what I said that Papan would have wanted. He's managed to back Enzo into Charf, and Charf now keeping Enzo way too busy for Enzo to really focus on Papan too much. And then Charf getting great run out of turn 2 as well, but up the hill there, he'll just have to try and stay close there to Charf if he wants to have a run close through these slow corners, and then maybe challenge into the final corner. And Papan taking a very wide
and Enzo and Andrex are side by side. Not Enzo. Andrex and Claessens are side by side through turn 1. Andrex on the outside for turn 2. Go on! You can do it! Round the outside! Come on!
Oh, he wasn't able to do it. So we're going to go back to the front.
You go back to the front.
Papan still holding on. It's just this massive right-hand corner to go. Can Papan hold on to first? Can Enzo hold on ahead of Charf, who's getting very, very close? It is all single final for the moment, but Enzo getting... Oh, it nearly looked like he was going to get a run, but he's got a bit of a wing. Oh! It's going to be someone. He's lost it. Has he lost it? Has he lost it? He has lost it.
He's locked to third.
Oh, no, Enzo.
At the last second.
Oh, to the final corner. The final time he had to get on the traction, and he didn't manage to do it. Oh, that is gutting for Enzo. He's going to lose even more points than to Charf in the championship. Vernex gets P4 ahead of Mr. Alcon. Great result for him in P5. Gronstra in 6th. Hideaki 7th. Dangerous Ginetta coming home. A very lonely 8th for him. Claessens ahead of Andrex. So, Andrex not been able to do that around the outside turn 2 in the end. Cole McCoy dropping from pole to 11th. Oh, and there's another side-by-side finish. Willow dropping behind Branderus on the final straight as well. Not what he would have wanted, and Jeff with a lovely little slide across the line, and then Hitharion at the back of the field. So wow, what can we say? Charf getting another 2 points at Enzo, and the chats are very sad.
Not as sad as I am that no one went around the outside at turn 2. But
Enzo, at least Enzo won that one. Enzo was closest to making that.
Yeah, we'll give it to Enzo.
Yeah.
Bransky was bang on naming Papan for favourite. Yeah,
was
it
indeed.
wasn't. It wasn't a perfect race. You know, he made a couple of little mistakes, but he did exactly what he needed to do, which is just win.
Yeah, massive
And
well
that's
done.
what he did.
Massive well done to Papan for the win here in the main race at Willow Spring. Perfectly worked race, and heartbreak for Enzo in the end, who drops a couple of points further to Charf in the championship. And I think that really is the main story. It was 9 points going into this between the two. Now it's going to be 11. So Enzo definitely has work to do now in the final 2 weeks at, I think it's going to be Hockenheim and Catalunya.
Yes.
For the
It's
next two.
told you, this best circuit in the world punishes mistakes, and when you get an overtake, it's a very, very good one, and there was plenty of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say.
Everything should race at Willow Springs. I know what I'm talking about, I promise.
Yeah, it was surprising. I will admit, I wasn't as confident as you in Willow Springs producing this kind of action, but that was absolutely fantastic. Battling all through the field, and a lot of side-by-side. Great stuff.
And shout out to all the drivers, because we had every single driver finish. Even though there was a few incidents, nobody left. Shout out.
There was one big incident, a few small ones. I would say, especially the first lap, that was very, very well behaved. Great racing for the most part from these guys. And Alex, shout out to Alec as well. Apparently his prediction for finishes of Charf and Enzo was correct, so he must have said Charf second.
Oh, he did.
And Enzo
Shut up,
third.
Alec.
Well done, Alec.
Alec, shut up. That was for his most recent comment as opposed to his prediction. Well done for the prediction. Otherwise, you don't know what you're talking about.
Fair enough. So then, that is it for the racing, but we will get a few driver interviews before we go. Hope you enjoyed that racing, because I certainly did. So who do you want to hear from then?
Papan,
yeah.
or Carl, or I don't know, or Mr. Alcon.
People to
Get
choose
some
from.
different names.
Well, at least we're going to start with Papan, I think, because he won that main
Absolutely.
race. Oh yes.
User was moved to your channel.
Papan, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Good. You?
Race winner.
Yeah.
Tell us about your
That's
race.
hard to believe in a non-roof.
How did the race go?
Nah, yeah, I don't like to admit it, but I haven't practiced this time. Normally I put a huge honor in.
Just turns
putting
up.
in
Doesn't
some
practice, wins the race. No problem.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit down to how the system works, because I got faster and faster throughout the evening by learning the track and so on. But yeah, wasn't fast enough to keep up with the front runners, so I just tried to be stable, and I just saw them catching up, and the heat was growing. I could say that I was pretty sure that Enzo would get me, but he got into a fight, it seems. So I was a little bit lucky. I don't really. I have a hard time with the car. I must say.
I can relate.
Enjoy it so much.
So yeah, I'm gonna touch on that actually, because obviously you haven't seemed as competitive in this car as you usually do in the GT3 league.
Yeah, of course it's down to I'm specialized in the roof and the GT3 in general, and I don't really feel this car on the track. It's hard to feel the traction, so the speed hasn't been way up there as it usually should. And I haven't put in the practice I usually do, so that shows. That's just how it is. Yeah. So I'm just here for the fighting mid-pack. And I enjoyed some good fighting here as well, but great fight with Mr. Alcon and Colonel McCoy. I really enjoyed that. And getting a win, that was surprising.
Certainly worked it perfectly once you got into clear air and didn't make no major mistakes, and you managed to just about keep the gap. So, touch on the track actually, just quickly at the end. Willow Springs, it's not the track we've been on too often in these leagues. How did you find it in terms of racing?
I actually enjoy it because I have been doing it a lot in the ESL in the old days, where it was 1-on-1. Then this track was part of the map pool, or the track pool. So I have done it quite a lot actually. Oh. I think it's okay, but I think it's more fun in a GT3. This car tends to understeer a lot, and that these corners, the sand there is really trying to draw you in like quicksand.
Papan knows what he's talking about.
So, Papa, would you be in favor of this track appearing on the GT3 calendar?
Yeah, I think the problem with the track on GT3 is that it will highly favor a car like the SLS. I think it will be very, very hard to beat the SLS here, so it is a little bit too much favor the high-speed cars. I also think Aston will be almost impossible to beat here. So I think that's the main issue, that I wouldn't want it in a GT3 league.
But everybody. And the thing with GT3 though is you pick a car that works for the whole calendar, not one race.
Yeah, of course. And there we also had tracks like Bathurst that favor the turbo cars. So
Exactly.
of course it could work. But I just think that this car heavy favors the faster cars.
Fair enough. Good to
But
get-
just to confirm, it's definitely a brilliant track, and it should be on every calendar. Yes.
I was gonna say, Steve is a bit of a fan.
Could be. I would not say a definite no.
That'll do. I'll take a definite
Yeah,
no.
that's the best you will get, Stevie. So let's go with that. Yeah, well done, win, Papan, and see you next week for more racing.
Yeah, thank you guys, and see you next week. Thanks for
See you later.
the stream. See ya.
See you, man.
User was moved
I'm
out
going to
of
ask
your
every
channel.
driver whether they think Willow Springs is the best thing in the world.
Sure. So let's see who we have left.
We've lost Carl. He's
Lost
gone.
Carl. That's a shame.
Damn it.
Have we lost Mr. Alcon? We have also lost Mr. Alcon.
No. They're all gone. Because you took too long to talk to him about Willow Springs.
Yeah, that's just what happened. So we're basically stuck with the
Everyone's
championship
leaving.
challengers again, really.
Who's DG?
Dangerous Janessa, but he probably had the least exciting race of everyone in that one. So
I picked
we'll get him in when he has a slightly more exciting one, I think. So what do you reckon? Should we just hear from the contenders again then?
Go on then.
Go on then.
User was moved to your channel.
Hello again, Char.
Hello.
Championship leader. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. 2 good races, no major mistakes like last week.
Only a minor one. We saw the minor one.
Oh, you saw that?
We
No,
saw
you
that.
gotta be kidding me.
So
In fact, I was talking about how well you were doing.
yeah,
You
It fell off.
shouldn't have.
it was a
Sorry.
classic commentator curse moment. But then, to be fair, we did commentator curse Enzo later on, so that balances it out, I think.
Yeah, he did a mistake on the last lap. That was
Yeah.
pretty unfortunate for him. But fortunate for me this time, so it's equal now. Or even, I'd say even.
Tell us about the races in general then, obviously. As usual, I guess, two very contrasting races, winning pole to flag in the first one, and then fighting your way through, and just about getting second in the second one.
Yeah, first race, I was basically trying to keep it on track to not repeat the mistake I did last week.
Yeah.
And that worked out pretty well. I managed to keep a consistent pace and took P1 home in the end. And then race 2, I was a bit worried about that one before the race, because it's a pretty tricky track to overtake on. As it's long and sweeping fast corners, and if you run only a bit wide, you're gonna make contact. I think we saw a lot of contact in that race. At one point, there was a major incident.
there was one major.
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah, and I had to slam on the brakes to avoid the people in front. But luckily, I didn't get any damage, unlike other drivers who had major damage from that. I think I had a few scratches, but nothing that would impact any lap times. I was basically gaining on the mistakes of the other people around me, as it's hard to overtake, as I already mentioned. And yeah, suddenly I found myself behind Enzo again. Yeah, we know that scenario. And he didn't want to let me past, but then, yeah, you saw the mistake he made in the last corner, and I had to turn the wheel really hard and almost spun doing that.
Oh,
But
That would
luckily,
have been even more crazy if you'd done that.
yeah, it was by car's length in the end, so I'm pretty satisfied.
a couple of things for me. You said you didn't want to repeat your mistake from last week. Are you having nightmares about that
Yes.
race in Silverstone?
Yes, I have slept like 5 hours in the last week because of that.
The psychological disadvantage.
Yeah.
Secondly, is Willow Springs the best track in the world, and how have you enjoyed racing it to this?
It is the best track in the world if you turn the order upside down.
There you go. That'll do.
Yeah.
That's a guess.
I think that's a good answer.
I think you're the only one who really likes this track.
Well,
Yeah, really.
That's a slightly less good answer from Stevie.
yeah. I mean, you really set me up happily there. But you kind of ruined it.
Sorry, man.
One more thing from me, and then Fizzy can get rid of you, unless he has anything more to add to you. I was hoping all race that someone would go around the outside at turn 2. Do you think you ever had a chance of doing that on anybody?
It's tricky to go around the outside, because if you get ahead on the outside and then you're gonna accelerate out of the corner, then you still have some guy on the inside who's more likely to run wide a bit. And that's what happened, I think, once or twice, and then you're gonna need to slow down anyway, so not sure if that's a good move in that corner.
That would be a great move, it's just whether it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, Charf, you're now leading the championship by 11 points. I think I said 3 instead of 2 last week, but I think I got it right this time. I thought you're leading by 11.
Yeah, nice.
The question is, do you have this now? Do you got it covered?
I hope so. Yeah, it's looking good. I think chances are good. Yeah, could be worse.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Anything can happen, though, of course, in these reverse grid races. So.
Yeah, just one major incident and.
Or Silverstone
you-
repeat.
Yeah, and you don't take anything home in one race, and that's, I don't know how many points, but that might be enough already to even it out.
Yeah. Fair enough. Anyway, well done today. 2 great results, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Well
See you
done.
guys.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
User was
That's
moved
2
out
for
of your
2 that
channel.
really, really enjoy Willow Springs. That one I really like.
If you enjoy the reverse grid. So, question is Enzo up for a little interview at the end, just to kind of hear what on earth happened with him on that final corner. I see he's muted his speakers at the moment in TeamSpeak, so whether that means he doesn't.
Nope, he's just unmuted his microphone.
So speakers for me. Anyway, I'll try to drag him in and see if he notices.
User was moved to your channel.
Oh, he's there. Enzo.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, you sound disappointed.
Oh.
Very.
Yeah, I can imagine. Just tell him a little bit. I'm not going to keep you for long, man, but a little bit about the race.
More the events from first race that I'm disappointed with, more so than the second, because the main race was an error of my own.
Yeah, we didn't see that. What happened?
I tried getting a good exit out of the final corner, and I clipped the curb, and it just unsettled the car a bit. So in the process of catching the car, it slowed me down, obviously. And Chaff was just able to get ahead.
Although, obviously, you lost quite a bit of points to Chaff now, and not quite the results you would have wanted. But still, I have to say, you keep impressing me with your pace and racecraft. Even though you made two main mistakes, but it's such an easy thing to do, and on all of the other, however many corners you did throughout the race, you were pretty much spot on. So
Yeah.
just the same, obviously, that mistakes can be that costly.
Yeah, like I say, it was just that final corner, really. And it would have been nice to have those extra 2 points, but it is what it is.
If it's any consolation, you get the Stevie half point of brilliance for holding it around the outside at turn 2.
Do I get
first
do I
race.
get 10 points for picking your favourite track in the world?
You get Stevie
That
bonus
seems
points for
fair.
that. Yeah, because and come on, how was it? Was it great? It was great, wasn't it?
Going
You're probably
into
not the best
the
person to
race,
ask.
Yeah.
I didn't like it very much, but in the main race I settled into a really good groove, and I actually beat my personal best by 3/10, and I kept doing it over and over. So putting the laps in started to become quite enjoyable, but then when Chaff pops up in the relative, it stops becoming enjoyable.
You remember you're in a championship fight and you're in a race.
Yeah, I think that's over now. Just be settling
No.
second at this point. I think 11 points is quite a lot of points to make up in 2 races, and
Hey.
especially when it's Chaff that you're going up against.
But he's getting nightmares. He's needing therapy about that Silverstone mess up where he threw away the win. He's at a psychological disadvantage. Capitalise. Nico Hamilton thing.
Well, it's 4 races to go. You know, I'm not gonna say you're out of it because you definitely aren't. Anything can happen in these races, as we've seen. You know,
Yeah,
you never know. Suddenly, Charf gets caught in an incident as well, or something.
Yeah, that incident. Did you catch the big 4-5 car pileup going through the final corner? I seen that coming up.
I think it was. Without being 100% sure, I don't feel too comfortable naming names. I think it was Andrex who lost to the back end on the exits.
I don't know what it was that exactly happened, but as I was going towards the wall, there was literally a wall of cars. There was nowhere on the track you could get past. And I slammed on the brakes, and I don't know who it was, but somebody drove like sideways across the track, and it opened up a gap. So there was like a little opening in this wall, and I just mashed the throttle, and I managed to get my way through it.
I think that's probably Andrix who would have seen, because I think he lost the back end out of there and
I think he
spun
was.
across the track, and I think Jeff got caught up. But obviously, you worked your way through nicely.
Talking of walls, do you realise how close you got to the pit lane on one of those encounters through the final corner?
Yes, I did, because I noticed I had a little bit of a daydream moment, and when I was on back in, I was looking at a wall.
You were so unbelievably close.
Yeah, just had a little bit of.
I think
lapse of
I went myself a
concentration.
little bit.
Anyway, what can we say? Obviously, not quite the results we would have wanted, but again, some really good racing, and I wish you the very best luck in the final 2 weeks. And
Thank you.
hopefully, the championship battle can carry on.
Hopefully.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
All right, man. Cheers
Thanks,
for all
man.
your coordinating efforts, and cheers for the racing, and we'll see you next week.
See you later, man.
See you later.
User was moved out of your channel.
You know, you really commentated and cursed him good tonight.
It's only once, man.
Yeah, but he's too depressed now. It's your fault. See, the one I commentate curse, he's quite happy.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about that. Shout out to Adam Cronin7 for the follow. And by the way, that's the F1 engine sound you heard midway through that interview. But anyway, I think that's about it for today, to be honest. Next time we've got a Hockenheim GP, I believe. I think it's the full Hockenheim. So it's a much longer lap for these cars, but it should be some more fun, I would imagine.
No, that's not the best circuit in the world. So it'll be
downhill
good.
from
I'm not
here.
denying it'll be good, but I mean, you've had the 2 best circuits in the world back to back, so.
But I'm a big fan of Hockenheim personally. At least in F1 cars and stuff like that. I haven't doing it a couple of times in GT3s. It's decent there as well. I'm sure it'll be fun. So I hope you guys will
you'll have a good time.
join us. Join at least me. I'm not sure if Stevie will be there next week for Hockenheim. Happy birthday again to Evan, if you're still watching.
Happy
Hope you enjoyed your
birthday,
tasty pizza.
Evan.
Pizza?
PC.
Pizza. Hope you enjoyed your
That's something
PC
completely
and your pizza. And cheers, to everyone else who will be posting in the chat and watching, and hopefully enjoyed the race. Ooh, Caspian CV, thank you for the follow as well.
Oh, last second follow.
Yeah. Follow hype. Caspian, thank you very much. And join us next week on Wednesday for more touring car action on Project Cars. And there goes the follow sound. So thank you again. And good night.
Bye.